Hello, I'm Debashish and I've put this short video together to talk about how I take photographs while shooting through glass. All of us as photographers have at some point of time or the other tried to take a photograph while shooting through a sheet of glass. Now there's a common problem that we've always encountered, and that's dealing with reflections from the sheet of glass that's right in front of us, which is really frustrating because invariably you've got this really beautiful scene outside that you want to capture, but the reflections just keep on getting in the way and they're very difficult to get rid of even in post-processing. So the best way to deal with them is if you can deal with them while you're taking the photograph itself. Now there are a couple of ways of doing this. If you're shooting during the daytime and you can get your lens bung up against the sheet of glass, that will eliminate most of the reflections. It's not always perfect, but it will work most of the times. If you're shooting at night, one of the ways to deal with it is to turn off all the lights in the room that you're shooting from. Now, this only works when you're in control of the lighting in the environment that you're in. But most of the time when you're shooting through a sheet of glass, you're in a public building or a viewing platform, and you don't have control of the lighting inside where you're shooting from. And invariably when you've got lighting inside a room and you're shooting out into dark, you get very nasty reflections that are almost impossible to deal with in post-processing. But I've actually found a way on how you're guaranteed not to get reflections while shooting through a sheet of glass, whether it's daytime or the night. And it actually involves taking a look at where the source of the problem comes from. Now let's look at this problem step by step and take it from the perspective of a camera shooting through a sheet of glass that we're going to imagine is right over here. Now the source of the reflections is from light sources that are going to be hitting the sheet of glass in the field of view of the lens. So the only way that you can overcome any reflections that you capture is by blocking off any light striking the sheet of glass in the field of view of the lens. Now, I came up with this idea that you can put a tent of some sort made out of fabric around the lens that would go right up against the sheet of glass, and that would block out any reflections coming into the lens. And the theory behind it was sound. So I decided I'd go ahead and put it into practice. And I went out to the local store, bought about $70 worth of materials and invested 5 hours of my time building a very ragtag looking contraption that was going to do this. After spending about 6 hours in total on this endeavor, I finally discovered after doing an idle search on the internet that there's already a product out there that does that. And it's called a LenSkirt, and it's really compact and easy to carry around. So this is a LenSkirt. It is really nothing more than a canvas tent that will go all the way around your lens and attach to a sheet of glass using these suction cups. It folds up and collapses into a regular camera bag, and you see that it's got a heavy canvas section over here and a soft fabric section over here. So the way on how it works is that you attach it to the sheet of glass using these suction cups, and you pop the lens through the little hole over here, secure it up, and once you've got that against the sheet of glass, you are good and ready to go ahead and shoot. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how I've used one of these guys, and I'll give you a look at a before and after shot while using a LenSkirt and while not using one.
Now, using the LenSkirt is easy. The first thing you want to do is clean the sheet of glass that you're shooting through. Now, this is for two reasons. One is to make sure that you've got a clear shot, and the second is to remove any skin grease or oil that might prevent the suction cups from attaching properly. Now, once you've got the sheet of glass all nice and clean, attach the LenSkirt using its suction cups. It ought to fit on without any issues. Once you've got the LenSkirt attached nice and secure, pop your hand in and expand the inside in so that none of the fabric gets in the way of the lens. Adjust the height of your camera and pop it into the opening, and then secure it with the drawstring that is around the fabric section. Once you've done this, you're ready to start shooting through a sheet of glass. So here's an example of an image that I shot without using a LenSkirt. I shot this in Hong Kong through a sheet of glass, and the reflections are very, very visible. This is that same scene shot from the exact same position through the same sheet of glass, this time with the LenSkirt attached. And look, no reflections at all.
Those results are pretty impressive, aren't they? And to think that it's just something as simple as that that solves this problem. I hope you found this useful. Till next time, I'm Debashish.